All right, so as you can see, the words that you are hearing do not match the words on the screen because my mic was off. So I'm gonna talk over this, and I hope you still enjoy. I do have the battles timestamps, so if you don't care about the breakdown, go ahead and skip to those. Some people ask for a rental, so I'm gonna go over the rental. But first, I did make some changes to the layout, as you can see me pointing around. I think I fixed the squish, so let me know if it still looks squishy to any of you. But if not, then we got that problem solved. I added something behind me that I might be pointing to now, so that's not a big empty space. I clipped off the right side that was useless, and I made the logos underneath the screen bigger. Additionally, I think I'm going to make some more changes to that just to make the Twitch and YouTube logo bigger. So let me know how you feel about these small changes. It seems like a lot of you actually like the original layout, so I'm just going to leave it up with these changes. Also, let me know what other restrictions I should try. So let's go to the team. Giratina is the restricted. Draco Meteor, Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp, Protect. Draco Meteor is the strongest special move. Shadow Ball is strongest ghost type special move. Will-O-Wisp is good because obviously it's Will-O-Wisp. And Protect. Greasiest Orb is what gives you the origin form, and it boosts your dragon and ghost moves by 20%. Usually paired with Grimmsnarl. So between Berry and the Will-O-Wisp and the Fake Tears, you can kind of neutralize Zacian, slow it down, the Will-O-Wisp it, GG's. The Light Screen also protects you both from special moves. With the bulk on Giratina and Light Screen, we always live, I think we always live Astral Barrage. Additionally, Giratina has enough speed that if you Fake Tears a Calyrex Shadow, you will outspeed it, and then you can one-shot it with Shadow Ball 100% of the time. Then Fake Tears is for those Draco Meteor drops, or if you just need to put extra damage into something, Fake Tears it. The Slowking, also for those Draco Meteor drops, you switch it in, all your minus attack stats, or your minus special stats go back to normal. That does work for positives as well, but for this team, Giratina is mostly going to be losing stats with Draco Meteor, so you can swap it in. Also, you have the stack, which is good for Trick Room stuff. I have 3 attacks on the stack, no Trick Room, because sometimes I find myself needing the extra offense. But you can also get rid of those Intimidate drops with the Slowking as well, if your White Herb has already been used. Then Eerie Spell is a strong Psychic type move. It removes PP, pause, so like that's really good. And then you have Yawn, and you can heal your mons with Heal Plus. Life Orb Lecky just hits things incredibly hard. It is more risky than Satchel Lecky, but it is so much more worth it. And then after that, it's a standard Incineroar. So go ahead and try the code and let me know how you feel about the team in your own try. It does have a bit of a skill cap, but I think it's really good. So I'm going to skip most of this team preview. But I saw this team, I recognized it from Aaron Cyberson's channel, so I had a little bit of idea what I wanted to do. So I knew leading Giratina into it would be very, very safe because Giratina has Levitate, so you cannot hit me with Precipice Blades. I can use it to hit the Shed Ninja. The Zapdos doesn't do much damage into it. Neither does the Heatran. Overall, the, what's it called? The Guzzlord doesn't really do much damage into me. And the Whimsicott, even though it has like Moonblast, doesn't do much damage. So I'll lead that with the Grimmsnarl, knowing I can handle mostly any lead they put out with those two. And then I thought about the Incineroar, but then I ended up seeing like I'm only intimidating the Groudon, which is not really a threat. So I'm going to go with Slowking and Stack Attacker and call it a day. So you see they lead their Guzzlord and their Groudon. So I knew off of rip, right? Groudon cannot hit me. All I had is like Heat Crash, which I resist. Precipice Blades, which will miss because I am Levitate, and like Rock Tomb or something, so that can't hurt me either. So I'm going to try to Fake Tears into the Guzzlord. I never actually played with or against Guzzlord, so I didn't know it was a Dark type and a Dragon type. So it doesn't work. So I do Draco Meteor, and I do land, and I pick up great damage. But without the Fake Tears, I do not pick up the KO, which does suck, because it then is going to proc its Berry here, and it gains some health back, but I'm not too worried about it. I think they are going to go for the Precipice Blades? I think they do. I don't know if they didn't know I was Levitate, which is natural, right? You don't really sell out of Giratina origin forms. So they do that. They hit, as you can see, like, right, this Grimmsnarl is really bulky. That did less than 50% to me at neutral. No intimidates, no burns, no nothing. So they do hit me with a snarl, which is annoying, but it's not that big of a deal because at the end of the day, I do have fake tears, so I can hit the Groudon for extra damage if I need to. So I'm gonna go here is actually I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp the Groudon so that my Grimmsnarl can survive the turn, and then Spirit Break the Guzzlord so I can kill it, and then we can move on to the next Pokemon. I love it when playing comes together. You see, we get the little fist pump action. I do not know if that crit mattered. I don't think it did from that range because it didn't have that much health back. So now we have a Burn Groudon, which already cannot hit the Giratina. So now it can't really hit anything else either, right? So it's kind of bad for it. So we have the Heat Train coming out. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get some damage on this thing. Obviously, I can't Draco into it because it resists, so I'm going to go with the Shadow Ball. I am -1. So I do think I clicked the fake tears here to get some extra damage off, which a good choice, because do I not click it or do I switch? Oh, you know what? I think I preserved the Grimmsnarl here, and nope, I do fake tears. Oh, because they actually go into the Giratina, I think. So I get this fake tears off. I get some solid damage into the Heatran, and then I think they actually go for a move into the Giratina because they realize this thing is just sitting on the field and dropping bombs and nothing's happening to it in return. So they hit me with the Rock Tomb, which is negligible damage, right? And that's the only move they have that actually hits me for neutral. So that thing can't touch me. So they do get up a sub, but I don't know if the sub is worth it because they already lost a bunch of health and they just gave away a bunch more, and they're next to a Groudon which can't do anything. So I'm not sure if the sub was worth it versus like, hey, let's just get damage this turn. I am going to be slower than than everything on the field right now because of that speed drop, but I decided I'm going to preserve my Grimmsnarl, and this is what I was talking about when the team breakdown, right? I'm bringing the Slowking and it resets all my stab drops, so my speed is back at neutral and my special attack is back at neutral, as opposed to being -3 special attack and -1 speed. So I do outspeed those bonds across from me again, and I hit them for full power. They protect, but it's like, that's fine, but the thing is, when you're protecting and subbing, you're not doing damage, and your Groudon can't do any damage because it's burned. So you're kind of just wasting the turn. At that point, you have to start clicking damage eventually. Use that sub to protect yourself, get an attack off, and then maybe sub up again later if you get the opportunity. So here I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball because I think I want to get rid of the sub so they can't just camp behind it. And I think I may go for the Yawn. Did I click Yawn? I wasn't paying attention there. Kind of doing this mostly off memory instead of just watching it and telling you what's happening, which would be the easy way. So they do go for the Precipice Blade. So look how much this does. That does nothing to the Slowking, which is a super effective hit because of that burn, which is awesome. They do double up, which is fine because, again, Giratina is sitting here doing whatever it wants. They're not hitting any damage onto me. So it kind of like all they did there was give me a free switch in, and they're letting Giratina just do it at once, which I don't think is a good idea because Giratina is already hard enough to kill as it is as a Pokemon, and now you have mons out on the field that don't do super effective damage to it, so it's going to be even harder. So I really would have recommended them trying to go into me there. Maybe double up. I don't have any recovery here, so like you should just go for it. So let's see what happens this turn. I think that I might just Shadow Ball in Light Screen because I'm planning for the Stack Attacker to come in at some point, and I can easily get rid of this Groudon with 1 or 2 attacks. So if I get the Light Screen up, the Light Screen will actually protect from Earth Power from the Heatran. And like what happens is when people play like so defensively, they end up wasting turns in my opinion because like all they're doing is protecting, all they're doing is like sitting behind subs, so they're not doing any damage. And then like they hit Rock Tomb here because they're afraid to miss, but like now Grimmsnarl gets to sit on the field an extra turn, which I wasn't actually planning for. I thought it was going to go down, so this is like even better for me because now I can either fake tears, I can scare your face if I want, but I think I go for the Spirit Break. I figure I take the gamble here. because I can knock out the Groudon not this turn but the next turn, and if I can get a Spirit Break off, then I can lower that Heatran special attack, and then I can really have the stack on a safe position. But it doesn't work out that way, which is fine because no, look, they go for Flamethrower. Flamethrower does this much, nothing. And then the Groudon go down anyway. So they're down 2, I'm down 2, but I'm in a way better spot because I just have more damage into their Pokemon than they have into me right now. So they have their Shedinja, which is obviously going to protect. As soon as I saw that it was going to protect, especially just because you start to get a read on the player and you learn, okay, this person is not the risky go for it type. They are very defensive. They're going to protect that thing 100 times out of 100. So I can easily go ahead and attack right into the Heatran here. And then I protect the stack because I'm not completely sure if I'm going to knock out the Heatran. But this way I hit it and then it goes into the stacks protect, and then I can go again, but I just pick up the KO. But you always protect it, right? Because there's no point if you know the Shedinja is going to protect and you know the Heatran can't hurt the Giratina. It's always going to Earth Power into the stack. You always protect the stack, and then you just go ahead and finish this stupid thing off. I think that they're going to quit here, but nope, they don't quit. They said we're going to play it out. This is the most damage I think they did to Giratina all game. So we hit them with this, boom, the sash is gone, and then we hit them with Rock Slide, and the game is going to be over at that point. So decent game, not super tough. I actually played with some better teams off camera, and I was having a rough day, so I went out, came back, played this game, and then this was pretty easy. All right, so they got this strange team here. So I'm thinking like, okay, they have the Veltor as the restricted, and most people are always going to restrict the restricted. So I'm probably going to bring the Alecki here, especially because their restricted probably goes better into my restricted. So I'm not going to lead the Giratina at all. I'm going to lead the Alecki, but they know I'm going to lead the Alecki, so they're going to lead the Togedemaru. So I know they're going to lead the Togedemaru, so I lead Incineroar Alecki. I feel like the leads are previously evenly matched at that point, but I do think my lead is a little bit better. And then I think in the back, I bring something like Slowking and Stack. I don't even bring the Giratina at all this game. And I think they bring like their Amoonguss and their Comfey. So boom, I was right. Yveltal and Togedemaru. They don't have a choice but to bring the Togedemaru because they have to protect the Yveltal because Alecki just destroys Yveltal 100 times out of 99. So they're gonna fake out. I'm gonna fake out. Regular semantic stuff. I figure they can only fake out one of us. So either they stop my Regieleki or I just stop their Yveltal. So they're not gonna get a free turn this turn. I'm not gonna get a free turn. So I'm like, okay, good. Now we can all get the pedal to the metal, get this game going. So they obviously don't want their Yveltal to take damage. They're like, well, they feel safe. I'm not gonna Thunderbolt, but like I can easily hit them for Electro Web, lower its speed, still get big life orb damage off, and then I can also Flare Blitz. And like they can't cover for both those options, so I wonder if they're gonna swap or something. And look at what they do. They protect with the Yveltal, and they protect with the Togedemaru. And it's like, okay, fine, I guess, but you're playing super defensive for what really? Because all that this does for you is put you in the same position you were in last turn, right? You seeing what I was going to do doesn't change what I was going to do. You have to swap those mons still, or you have to just take these KOs or take these big damages. So I click my same play. I'm gonna Electro Web to get the damage off. The Yveltal can't hurt me, and the Togedemaru can't hurt me, but I can hurt them, and that's the dilemma that they're in right now, right? Which is what happens when you play kind of so passively. You kind of like even their lead, like even though it's not a bad lead, I had a lead that just kind of worked a little bit better in my favor, and forced them onto the back foot. So they withdraw the Yveltal, which is fine because like you kind of have to in a sense. So because they protected, I was kind of like, oh my goodness, another defensive player from the last. So I'm gonna protect too, and not let you do anything. So they do that, which is great. So I'm like, oh yeah, boom, Flare Blitz, Akaberry. So like, I already see what kind of game this is. Protect, Spiky Shield, Berry, run, 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 run. I'm like, oh my goodness. Let's get these games moving. Click a button. I don't even think they've attacked yet. Like, they clicked Fake Out, they've clicked Protect, they click Protect, and they click U-turn into a Protect. But even that's like them trying to run away, right? So I'm like, okay, Comfort could do what? Heal, but without Akaberry, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to Flare Blitz it again because they probably want to try to U-turn out. So I'll hit whatever comes in. And what I can do is I can get my Lucky out since it's not really doing anything right now anyway and just save it for the Yveltal. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get the Slowking in here, which covers for the Trick Room option that the Comfort has. So I get the Slowking in. Glove Ball. You see those hearts? They do Spiky Shield again, which I did not expect because I thought they wanted to get the Togedemaru out. And I figured because of that, I was going to Parting Shot until whatever came in. But they do get the Trick Room up, which is fine because I have Stack and Slowking. I don't know what they have that they think is going to protect them. So, like, now I have the 2 slower mons than their Togedemaru, and they cannot protect. So I'm going balls to the wall to get that thing off the field. I'm going to Flare Blitz that slot every time. And then I'm going to yawn that spot because let's say they have the Milotic in the back. This would cover for the Milotic switch in. I mean, bring out the Amoonguss, right? And I was like, man, that's interesting. You just gonna like throw your Amoonguss to the wolves. You gotta know if Flare Blitz is coming to that spot, right? Maybe they thought I was gonna Psychic move into the Yveltal spot. But I don't know why you would set up Trick Room and then bring out your fastest Pokemon. That just does not seem like the right choice to me. Especially when I have like the slowest Pokemon in the field. So boom, we get a lot of damage off into this Amoonguss. And then we do get off this yawn with no issues, I believe. And we get our recovery, which is even nicer. So here I'm like, okay, I can Flare Blitz into that Amoonguss spot most likely if I want. But like I'm thinking, you know, they've been playing real defensive, so they're probably gonna protect or something like that, some other nonsense. So I'm just gonna heal up my Incineroar back to full health, and they do switch, right? So I'm like, okay, that works for me. I could have just Flare Blitzed and took out the Togedemaru, but like, you know what? Let's punish them for playing so passive. So we're gonna heal our Incineroar up. So all that damage that it took from Rocky Helmet and Flare Blitz means nothing. Now you have your 2 fastest mons in the field. You have your Yveltal at -1, which is, you know, pretty bad for you. So I'm gonna get the Stack in here. Stack free, really free switching Stack. So remember, they set up Trick Room. I did not, but I have the 2 slowest mons in the field now. So I put myself in a wonderful position. This Schnall does pretty decent damage, I guess, but it's not something I'm worried about. Slowking's purpose isn't necessarily damage, and Stack does not care about its special attack. So what do I want to do this turn? I think that I want to kind of want to go right into that Togedemaru, but I feel like it's gonna protect. But I was like, you know what? Let's see if we can just catch it. Because what's the worst that can happen? They protect, and then I just go after it next turn. And they Fake Out, which means I get it for free on, because like they can't cover for both options, right? That's what has been covering me this entire game, is where I've gotten into positions where their defensive play doesn't mean anything because they cannot cover for both options. They do crit me, which was a bit annoying because I've been the aggressor all game and they've been like kind of running and hiding, and they get rewarded with a crit. Usually when you play defensive and overly defensive, you get punished with crits. You don't get rewarded with them. But it's it is what it is. I think I got off what I need to get off, and I get the Lucky, and no, I get the Incineroar in. And now their Togedemaru cannot protect, and I haven't seen their 4th Pokemon yet. I really feel like it's like that Milotic or something. So what I do here is that because I know they can't, do I know they can't protect, or am I assuming that they can? What did I do this turn? No, I'm thinking that they do protect. So what I do is I make Rock Slide and Fake Out the Yveltal. I think that's what I actually end up going for. Or do I go for the Flare Blitz? I wonder why I didn't choose to Fake Out this turn. I wonder if I was, oh, you know what? Because I knew that their Yveltal either didn't have Protect or was like a Sylvester or something. So it was easy to do this, right? Rock Slide covers the Yveltal staying in, and Flare Blitz covers the switch into like the Amoongus. So I knew I would get that off, and I knew Togedemaru would protect that turn, because at some point you have to realize that certain players, they are not gonna try to go get the game. They're kind of just hoping it falls into their lap, so they're gonna click protect every single chance they can. So I knew that protect was coming, so I could just read into it and go ahead and take out whatever came in. So now the Yveltal just comes right back out, and we kind of established that the thing cannot protect. Whether it's like choice specs or vested or whatever the reason is, it just cannot protect, so it has to keep running away. So I believe I still had Trick Room turns here. So I think I'm going to double up into the Togedemaru in case the Yveltal switches out again. Because sometimes players will like dangle fruit in front of you and then, run away with it. But they actually keep it in. Does some pretty good damage to the stack, which was not expected. But it's fine, essentially, right? Because I'm going to get a knockout this turn anyway. So I'm kind of glad I doubled into it, because this Nuzzle does go off into Incineroar. So like if Incineroar gets paralyzed here, I still have the high horsepower coming out. We do pick up the knockout, which means high horsepower is going to miss the Yveltal, but like that's not a big deal, because getting rid of the Togedemaru guarantees that Yveltal is mincemeat once the Aleki comes back out. So let's see what they actually brought back in. All right, it's the Comfey. So the Comfey can't do anything at all. But what I'm going to do is protect, because it does get priority like Draining Kiss and priority what's the other thing? It gets priority like healing and moves that take away health. So I figured that might be coming into the stack. So yeah, they do Draining Kiss the stack. Just keeping that stack on the field just like makes it a threat. They have to go after it, so they can't go after my other Pokemon the way they want to. They just snarl again. So I wonder, like they have to be like choice locked into that, because it doesn't make any other sense to just keep clicking snarl. Like maybe so they have to be locked in a sense too, because they want to be able to beat my Aleki, right? So they can't lock into Oblivion Ring for the recovery, because Oblivion Wing, especially at like these drops that they're gonna get with the parting shot, is not going to do any damage to me. So they're just gonna like Draining Kiss. I'm gonna Thunderbolt, and they are intimidated too, I believe. So even if they had Sucker Punch, it would not make a difference. So if you Thunderbolt, that thing goes down. Definitely not a Sylvester, or maybe a Lucky's just a beast. But yeah, Yveltal's gone. That is gonna be like the game itself. I don't believe they quit. I think they ended up playing it out. No, they got smoked. Never mind. Gyro Ball, pop goes the Weasel. So that is gonna be the game. That's gonna be like the battles for the video. So while I got you guys here, if you made it this far, let me know in the comments how you felt about the battles. Let me know what you think of the small changes we made. Like I said, let me know if the squish is fixed. Let me know if you like how the screen is looking. Let me know what trick that I should try. I'm gonna try to accommodate somebody's or everybody's choice if I can. And I do appreciate all of you coming out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.